First time that I saw him perform, I had to know who he was. I came up and asked him his name, didn't I?
Yeah, dude, killer guy. It was great to meet.
Yeah. And the second time, though, gave him a freaking hug because, like, I've gotten to know this guy a bit, and my gosh, he's amazing. He's extremely talented, and what I love most about him, though, is his heart. He's got, like, a great heart.
Yeah.
But I'm going to post some of that music, too, so you guys can watch him, like, spitting those lyrics and stuff. Like, that's absolutely amazing. What inspires you, man? Because, like, tonight, man, there was so much energy there and so much love, and I hope that you felt the love that everyone there had for you, because that's why they were there. That's why they stayed, because you were like one of the last ones there. People can still hear there's some music being performed there and everything. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up and let you talk now because this is like the longest question in history.
Your question was what inspired me?
Wait, first, this is Asic. Spell that out.
Asic, A-S-I-C.
A-S-I-C. Okay, because I told them you're Tony, which you are, but you're also Asic. All right, but go ahead. What inspired you?
Ever since I was little, I remember that my family like expressed themselves with music and shit. And like my mom and dad were always listening to like, you know, music constantly around the house. I remember we always had sound systems throughout the houses that we lived in. And so this is my mom and my stepdad. When I was little, my mom and real dad divorced, but my stepdad's been in my life since I was 2.
Yeah.
And the music that they played has just had an impact on me. Like, it's stuff that now when I hear the song, I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember that day sitting in the car with my mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that my mom would listen to sad music when she was upset and happy music when she was happy. And I mean, I was young, but once I got the concept of that, I started to pick up on the whole music thing, and so I started to like write down lyrics to songs.
Nice.
To remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then about when I was 11, my dad passed, my real father.
Yeah.
And I kind of started to write my own lyrics to express myself, and then I got into that when I was about 11 and started writing songs. And
how long was it after your dad died that you wrote a song that made me freaking cry? And I wrote you a message about it, about your dad's death. But how much time went by?
That song was released about 5 years after his death, and I made it about 4 days before I released it.
Yeah.
There was more made way before that. I made my first song about his death probably a week after his death.
And what's the name so people can look it up when they
Goodbye
look up Asic?
Dad.
Goodbye Dad. That's right.
SoundCloud's the best place to find it.
And
Asic_official.
All of your songs are very important and like epic. Like everything I've heard of yours is like absolute fire. Oh, and then Junior over here, he had a feature tonight, and he did awesome. He forgot some of the lyrics, but that's okay though because it was still pretty awesome. It was sorry. That's what people like though, man. It means you're human, right? People don't want to go and see a robot. They want to see a real human that's like got, makes mistakes and isn't absolutely perfect, because none of us are, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, what is the when you wrote that song, okay, that made me emotional, and that's probably one of your songs that's gotten the most likes and attention and everything, right? Because it's just like so like from the heart and just like raw, right?
Yeah.
And anyone that's like lost a parent, I think can kind of feel and kind of put themselves in your shoes. And I think you kind of captured in words like a feeling that's really hard to put into words. Right. And Father's Day is coming up like very soon. Like, what is it? This week. This week. So Father's Day is coming up. Yeah, and man, when I realized that, like earlier today, we were just sitting on the couch in there before you performed and stuff. And when I thought about that, I'm like, oh man, because I was thinking about your song, and it's not.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
Sorry.
Not to just talk only about this subject, but how does it make you feel when like Father's Day comes up, man? Because I want to first let me say that your father, I know wherever he is absolutely proud of you and amazed at what a person you are and what a great heart you have.
I try to tell myself that every day. Thank you. the question again? I forgot. I'm sorry.
I think I forgot my own question.
You said, how do you feel about Father's Day coming up?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just try to not think about the fact that, you know, he was around, because he's not. So I try to let go of that and just be thankful for my stepdad who stepped up when he couldn't.
That's awesome. And any parent would be damn proud to have you as a son, because you're amazing.
I appreciate that.
So, absolutely, man. And as far as your talent goes, like, it blows me away. Like, talk about some of your other music. Talk about some of your other songs. Like what you performed tonight. Like, what was meaningful to you about that? Because you always put your heart into your songs. You always just kind of wear your heart on your sleeve.
So the last song I performed, I guess, is probably the most favorited one of mine for sure. And touchy topic, but I had an ex-girlfriend. I have an ex-girlfriend. She was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
We dated last summer, and I mean, it didn't last long, but it was pretty crazy. And she eventually gave up and was done. And so that song was more about the fact that, like, I need to kind of bring myself to understand that she's done, so that this pain of it won't hurt as bad. And so yeah.
People are complicated. Like, seriously, you never know what's going on. I mean, even if you think you know someone, like it's weird, isn't it? How, like, sometimes you can just be, like, living your life, and then you'll, like, catch a whiff of a smell or something that reminds you of something from your childhood, either good or bad, right? And it's like, there's so many levels and layers of depth to us that even understanding yourself can be difficult, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, when someone does something that's kind of unexpected and you can't really understand, a lot of times they don't even understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times there's something going on that they don't really even get. And so, I don't even know who that girl is, but you put some pretty good lyrics to that song. And I don't have them memorized or anything, but I definitely love watching you perform.
Thank you.
Out there, man. What's your favorite part of performing? Because, like, what do you get nervous beforehand?
Last show I did, but then once I was on stage, it was like cake and it was fun. And this time I was not nervous even a little bit, just because.
Last time, was that like your first show like this?
Yes and no. Previously, he and I did one for a high school party that my friend was throwing.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had like a whole ass balcony and shit that we performed up on top of, and fucking just gave out our lives. We only got to perform one fucking song, but
We killed that shit.
we still killed it. Yeah, it was pretty insane.
Yeah.
And then this show is the second for that.
So you guys coming out here, and he's off camera too, but they got another friend that's like really awesome, and I'm impressed with him and his own skills
Get
and
this motherfucker on the
talents.
camera.
And so,
Put that motherfucker on the camera.
hey, there we go. It's Nathan.
Supporter,
Nathan.
number one supporter.
Yes, sir.
When I first met Nathan, he was wearing a very colorful sweater that had a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these guys all traveled a great distance. They crawled on their hands and knees to come here to Salt Lake to perform tonight, practically. Well, with gas prices how it is, they probably would have freaking preferred to crawl on their hands and knees.
1/8 of the tank. God.
Yeah. That's insane. So, but we got some Heber boys, right?
So,
And then we've got way out there.
Yeah.
Way out there on the other side, the other end of the state.
Yep.
The other end of Utah. So what is if I can get you guys to kind of talk just a little bit, like because Nathan, explain how you got connected with these two guys.
So it's not very vivid, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing someone post on their Snapchat story of these two and like, oh, go listen to this, go listen to that. I was like, all right, well, I better take a listen. I need some new shit in my playlist. And I added them because their ad was obviously on there. And I was like, yo, y'all shit is fire. I was like, we gotta hang out sometime. Maybe I could hop on a track with y'all. But that's basically what happened.
That's awesome, yeah. And there was so much freaking energy when all these guys. Tonight it was just mostly Tony and a little bit of Junior on the stage, but next time or sometime soon we're gonna be, because you've got a concert coming up on July 15th, right? Who else is gonna be here for that?
Family, everyone. Everyone's gonna be here. Hopefully,
it's gonna be pretty packed.
Hopefully.
Okay, I'm planning on being there. Make sure to remind me.
I'm Mexican, so we come from a big family, you know.
Did you get my
And-
cross?
Yeah.
My neck was broke on stage.
Yeah. And then this guy right over here is playing a Kilby
Cameo.
Court. He's playing a Kilby Court.
Interview
Yeah, we got a
part
little
two.
cameo here. He's playing a Kilby Court on July 2nd. He's going to be, his band is so...
It's not my band that day. So.
No, it's not. What is your band playing that day?
Oh, I'm just.
No,
that's just
your
a.
opening.
Yeah, it's just me. It's my solo stuff.
It's
Yeah.
just your solo. But
That-
you are,
that day, yeah.
yeah, this is Charles. I already did an interview with him. You guys can check that out on the channel. But anyway, yeah, you got a little cameo there. I mean, you're sitting there, like, heck, why not, right? So anyway, back to like you guys all meeting up and everything, right? So when did you guys first meet in person?
With him?
Yeah, like with Nathan.
How long ago was that?
It was probably like,
A year and
I'd
a
say
half?
a year and a half ago. He hit us up and he was like, hey, yo, you gotta chill. I was like, I bet. Maybe like,
I remember he came to Bridger's house.
yeah.
I was like high as fuck.
2
slumped
weeks,
out in
like maybe
Bridger's
like
bunk
a
bed.
week or 2 weeks went by, and I was like, hey, yo, I can come pick you up. Let's chill. And he was like, no, I got to ride. I was like, all right, bet. So you got to ride down to Heber, and we just started chilling from there. We just started like laughing. We just like,
Dude, that's actually
damn.
we gotta look back on that memory.
Dude.
That day was super
That
fun.
day
So,
was
I mean,
super fun.
not like proud. I don't encourage it, but that day we were all high as fuck, just slumped out up in my homie Bridger's room. We got our homie named Bridger. We call him Shrek. He's the ogre. He's like 6'4" and
Ogre.
big
Shout out
old
Ogre.
brody dude.
Shout out Ogre.
And so I remember like Junior's like, yo, that kid Nathan's coming. And I'm like, Tyson's cousin? And he's like, yeah, that one. And I'm like, bet. I'm high as fuck, passed out in the bed.
He was like,
And this curly-headed fuck walks up in the room and he's like, yo, what up, Tony?
dude, the
And I'm like,
brightest,
fuck.
brightest smile, biggest energy. This
I
guy
remember
just,
that
and it
shit.
just kid just has the energy.
While we were all
man.
sitting there like
Right.
tired as fuck, he was just lighting up the room.
He just
I
walked
like
in,
that.
boom, God walked in.
So we knew from there that was definitely
You know,
like a
he's
homie for sure.
part of it. He's
yeah.
part of
We
it.
knew
I
right
feed
there.
off their energy. For
Exactly. We knew from right there.
Well, it's like a fire, right? Like every coal, like if you take one coal from a fire and you take it out of like separate it from the other coals, it's not gonna like burn that bright. But if you get enough coals together, like you get a big forest fire, it can create its own weather. Like, did you guys know forest fires can create tornadoes? Isn't that insane?
You seen those fire tornadoes in Oregon? Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But okay, so I was telling these guys, I was talking about how Nathan has the best one-liners, which I know from Snapchat because his responses to people are like, because he'll get the questions or whatever from that one, whatever, and it's always fun to watch. I like usually read all of them when I get a chance.
Yeah.
So some days I'm not on Snapchat, but when I am,
About our hair.
and I said, yeah. And when I was his age, I had hair like
Good shit
that
tonight,
too,
dog.
just crazy. It's absolutely,
Good job, guys.
just absolutely
Dude,
crazy.
Dog, you
Have a
fucking
good night.
killed it up there.
Have a great night, you guys.
Dog.
Okay, so Tony, back to you. Is it all right if I post your performance on Snapchat?
Fuck yeah.
Or not on Snapchat, on YouTube.
Of course.
Yeah, because see, I didn't want to post it on Snapchat because then that like lessens the quality a little bit, and so I wanted to have it
Yeah.
at least decent quality.
Just send me the link.
So you guys can all, absolutely, man. And so I'll be posting this, and I'll be posting I'll post them back to back. Yeah,
Cool.
and then some of the other interviews I've done tonight, and
Tonight?
interviewing. What's that?
Tonight?
Yeah, no, well, I won't get it posted tonight, but I'll get it posted soon. And then I think I'm interviewing Delaric also tonight. And you guys have gotten to know some, by the way, around here, since you've started coming down here to Salt Lake and stuff, you guys have kind of gotten to know some of the locals, right?
Yeah, I got to know
The
people
local
like
scene?
Deliric and Lex,
homie.
and then I got to meet
Have a good night.
Mello 222. He was a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, Mello, you just met him tonight.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him tonight too, actually.
They're all pretty cool. It's good to get to know people like that are in like the same kind of
Yeah, to be like
upcoming
connected and
artists,
everything.
yeah, it's nice
Yeah.
to have
It's like a
those people
movement.
on my side.
Yeah. Make sure to add Charles, by the way. Like, he's one of my favorite people.
Like,
Right,
stop it.
Yeah, he is like that, right? But you guys have probably seen him. I shout out to him sometimes on Snapchat.
Probably,
Don't I? Yeah. Okay, so you guys came prepared with like
Oh, I
pizza.
ordered a
Is that
pizza. Oh,
is
yeah.
that root beer?
2-liter. Bangs,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Shout out Bangs, root beer. Even though I don't like Bangs, I like A&W, but it's okay. Shout out Barks.
It barks.
Oh, Barks. Barks.
You know
root
what?
beer.
You know what, dude? It's okay because
I used to think it's banjo.
banjo.
Yeah. Bangs, banjo, barks. Whatever the hell it is.
It's so funny because tonight and during your show, you endearingly forgot the lyrics, and then today you forgot the name
I
of
forgot the name.
You,
Dude, my mind's all over
but
the place.
you know what though?
Yeah.
That is.
It says Barks. I guess it says Barks, man, with the Q.
But you know what? People are going to remember that because you forgot it.
Oh, yeah,
if you had
exactly.
just said Barks, then no one would remember.
Exactly.
But now everyone's going to remember that because you forgot it, right? So that was like your trick up your sleeve, right? Just like your subconscious mind. Okay, well, before we wrap this up, man, Tony, what do you want everyone, if you could tell everyone just like a couple things about yourself, like what would you want people to know?
About me?
Yeah. And you can take a second and think. You're not like, on the spot. Well, okay, let me ask you this. When did it first occur to you that you wanted to be on a stage? You wanted to be pouring your heart out in front of people?
Since I was little. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I mean, the day that I knew that I was gonna be on stage and perform, that's another memory. But when I think I got into it, I was little. Like Michael Jackson grew up on it. We had I remember I was little. We had the Wii games, and it was the Michael Jackson dancing on stage, and we had to copy him with the Wii remote and do his dances.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely was into that. And then once I started making music with this dude, and I started actually releasing my music, I remember we were sitting in the bathroom and we made this one song, and again we were just high as fuck.
This
We
is the
listened
first time
to
meeting,
it.
by the way. First time ever meeting. Someone just texted me, he wants to make a song with you. Bet. I hit him up, had him come over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go on. You can explain the
Yeah, I
rest of
mean,
the story.
we made this song called Joints, and we listened to it and we're like, holy fuck, we're supposed to be.
Don't know
doing
what could
this
have
together.
inspired that name.
Well, okay, so that's actually the thing. So that at that time period, I wasn't smoking weed.
I was the one.
I was not allowed to smoke weed. My parents were like, fuck no, and I pull up to his house, haven't smoked in like 6 months, and he's like, yo, smoke this. And I was like, damn, I can't look like a bitch in front of him. So I smoked it, and then I just kept going and going and going and going. And we made these songs.
Both of us just got so.
I mean, my eyes were barely
hard.
even open. I still have Snapchat
God.
memories where my eyes were like just this big around,
Well, okay, let me ask you, because that reminds me, I wanted to ask you guys how you two met up then, because we've talked about Nathan.
So
How did you guys-
we previously knew each other, but just weren't like really friends. Just we've always had the same friend group, like since we were probably little, I assume. And come high school, I hit Junior up. I don't think I had service on my phone at the moment, so I had somebody text Junior for me and ask him if I could come over and make a song with him, because we had previously talked about it. He told me how to drop my first song, and so I dropped it, and he, after that we started making music together, and we just met through social media, I guess. Like, that's how we became friends.
Yeah. Do you concur, or is he just making crap up?
No.
Is he just?
No, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Basically, he just hit me up. He came over, made a song, Joints, and then from there, I think the next.
So that same day we made like
multiple
4 songs.
We made like multiple songs.
And
We
so
made a whole
this-
album.
we made,
actually.
we made like a whole album in that one day, like in a period of like 4
That's
hours
awesome,
maybe,
you guys.
in his bathroom. It's like a tiny ass bathroom, like fucking this big,
Echoey
Yeah.
as fuck.
And we made this whole album, and we had this one song called Scars, and I remember like we both hated it. Junior told me, he's like, fuck this song.
The first time I heard it, I was like, no.
He's like, fuck this song, we're not dropping this shit. And so then that day we dropped it,
It
and
has, like,
overnight
200K
it
plays.
blew up, and it got like 100,000 plus plays. Oh, the same night that we said it was ass and terrible.
Whoa.
He woke up and he called me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, Junior,
Like 6:30
Junior,
in the morning,
Junior,
I think it was.
Dude, look at SoundCloud right now. I was like, all right, bet. I look at SoundCloud and I'm like, 40,000 plays. And I go back on the year and I'm like, dude, no, that's not real. And I look back at it, that's not real. It was
40,000
hard to understand
plays?
because like.
I think that
And
one's
then
at like
100,000 to
almost.
the night.
Because
I
he
think it's
just
almost
barely
200,000 on that one now.
he
like
just barely
195.
released he barely released his first song, and then he comes out with these songs.
No, we passed 200K on that song. Huh?
Yeah, I
We're
know,
like
exactly.
20
We're like 204 right now,
214,
dude.
something like
Wait.
that.
Okay, so what's the name of that song again?
Scars.
Scars. And okay, even though you didn't like it at first, what's it about?
Yeah, like just our emotional damage. Was
our
stars.
throughout our lives.
So is that why you didn't like it? It was because like you felt like you were wearing too much on your
The
sleeve?
audio quality sounded like shit because of the bathroom.
Yep. Dude, I'm telling you, it's stuff like forgetting
Dude,
the name of Barks
that's what I'm
and
saying.
forgetting the
That's what I'm
lyrics.
saying,
That's what
dude.
makes you stand out. And like shitty audio quality.
We're
like,
always gonna
that's what
remember it.
makes
It's a
real.
memory. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's a core memory for sure.
I just checked that shit's at 117K plays.
Hey, that's
It's not bad.
that
It's
is
not bad.
that is pretty awesome. You know, it kind of reminds me of a story. I know that this guy that he would post on TikTok, like he made this homemade Iron Man
Yeah, I
little
saw
electric
that.
thing. You saw that?
Yeah.
But then he made it another one where it was like more professional and really cool, and he thought that one was going to get like even more views. But it didn't, because people wanted the real one. That people wanted the one that looked like some kid was tinkering around and put it together. You know, they didn't want one that looked like it came from some factory or something. You know?
A cardboard box, man.
Yeah. They wanted something that looked like, oh wow, this kid made that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people definitely, and that brings me full circle around to why I freaking love this guy right here, is because his heart. He's real. He puts it out there. He puts the lyrics out there. And he doesn't hold back. And when you watch this kid perform too, like you can see it in the performance. Like it's so professional and it's so profound. And I freaking love it, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your supporting.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we end on that note, you guys?
Let's do it, man.